So this is basically the scientific basis for the approach. And now we look at the advantage of the IGY immunotherapy. We found that it is a huge advantage. Like Terry, I think that you talk about it a lot. But specifically, I want to focus on the influenza. That with the IGY, it is really practical alternative and or additional option for control of the influenza. And we found, and with this approach, we discussed with a lot of scientists during the meeting that this approach can be applied beautifully for the seasonal flu. I will talk more about that later. And also I think Terry, you talk about the stability of the IGY. It is very, very stable. In our experiment, we started about 20 months ago, the experiment, and now last week, our assistant in the laboratory still confirmed the activity remains the same. And it can be lyophilized and reconstructed, and it still works beautifully. And the one thing that I think is a huge advantage, that IGY, not like a mammal antibodies, that do not activate the human complement system or human Fc receptor. So basically, this eliminates the risk that cause the inflammation, not necessary inflammation. And the last, but not the least, is the safety concern of using IGY in human. I think that this is minimum, because if you see that there are many food that you consume that contains egg component, raw components, like tiramisu cake or mayonnaise. Some they use raw yolk, I think, for mayonnaise, right? And chocolate mousse. And the one thing that I think that is very, very nice, that they prove for us also the safety. The flu mist, right now, is licensed in US. The way the flu mist prepare is very. I'm telling that it's not like a purified virus. Actually, the virus, the vaccine came from the allantoic fluid from the embryo, and then just by the centrifugation, and then the flu mist actually still contain a lot of egg components, and is approved to be used in US. And in most cases, the flu mist applied twice. So if the egg component can generate some problem, health problem, or unnecessary reaction, so after the second application, you can see the problem. But so far, I haven't heard any problem with the flu mist in humans. Next, this is conclusion. Actually, this is I already mentioned. The beautiful thing is the H5N1 IGY is that the antibody already in the market of the Southeast Asia countries, like China also. And I know that I received some email from China that they are working on that also. And Indonesia, Cambodia, the egg in the market already contains the IGY. So what we have to do is just only to get the IGY out from the eggs, and then to use for stockpile of the specific for H5N1. And like I mentioned, that it can be used to control seasonal influenza. The point that the advantage of using IGY for seasonal flu is that we can obtain the IGY specific for seasonal flu is faster or earlier than the vaccine to be used in humans. I assume that within 6 months, first the new strain for seasonal flu usually came out in January or February. And then in 3 months, I think that we are able to get already the IGY, right? So basically by fall or August, we get already IGY ready in the market. And the flu vaccine usually through the approval process, so it may take a few more months later. And the one thing that I would like to emphasize is that the treatment with IGY has immediate effect. Even we get infected already, first sign of the flu, we can treat right away, and then we don't have to wait. Vaccination, we have to wait at least 3 weeks, or sometimes we need to longer because the second shot, and then it's maybe that longer than 3 weeks, and to wait for the antibody to induce. But with the IGY, we can see the immediate effect, and especially for elderly or the people with a weak immune system. And even with the vaccination, they cannot make very good antibody response. But with IGY, you can treat, we can give it to these people. So this is basically the major advantage of using IGY for control of influenza, including the seasonal flu. Here, I would like to acknowledge my collaborator and supporter from different countries, from different institutions. Here's my colleagues in International Vaccine Institute in Korea, and my long-term colleagues and collaborator from US CDC and from the Seoul University. And here, collaboration with my colleagues in National Center for Veterinary Diagnostics in Vietnam, and my former department where I came from before I joined IGY. I was in the faculty in microbiology department of University of Alabama at Birmingham, and my former supervisor in Birmingham, Alabama. Thank you.